Dr. James Haney.
Thank you and welcome to the show this morning. The topic this morning is Tennessee State University in Review, and we're fortunate to have with us two administrators from Tennessee State University to talk about Tennessee State University this morning. Ms. Phyllis PQualls-Brooks, the Director of Public Relations at Tennessee State University, and Mr. HGentry Jr., who's the Director of Development and the Interim Athletic Director at Tennessee State University. And let me welcome both of you to the show this morning to talk about a topic that I'm sure that both of you have talked about over and over again, and that is Tennessee State University.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Ms. Brooks, let's start with you, and of course we'll try to get the same information from Mr. Gentry. Let's talk about your background and your education and the things that were important in your life that led you to the Director of Public Relations at Tennessee State University, after which Mr. Gentry will give us the same kind of information, and then we'll get into the topic of Tennessee State University in Review. But first, let's get some information about the two of you.
Okay, and first, let me thank you for having us on. We're delighted to be guests on your show this morning. My background is very simple and probably very similar to so many of your viewers. I come from a family who have believed in education and believed that that was the focal point for one growing and developing, and in the cliche, if you ever want to be something, you've got to get an education. So education has been very strong and a vital force in my family. I am completing my third year at Tennessee State University as Director of Public Relations, and Nashville as well as Tennessee, and specifically Tennessee State University, all have been very good to me in the 3 years that I've been here. Been able to grow and to learn the city and not get lost as we travel around. I'm in graduate school since I've been here, and I completed my Bachelor of Fine Arts degree from the University of Southern Mississippi that's located in Hattiesburg. So my background is communications. My degree is in theater, and I've worked in television prior to working in public relations in higher ed. So all of that kind of fits in to what I'm doing here and what I've been doing and enjoying for the last 3 years here in Nashville.
Very good. And Mr. Gentry, we've had you on the show several times, and of course each time you give us the same information. But at the same time, we want to recognize that since then, certainly you've made many significant achievements. And let's talk about your background and your education and some of the things that were important and eventually leading you to be not only the Director of Fundraising and Development at Tennessee State University, but also the Interim Athletic Director at that institution.
Well, I guess, Dr. Haney, they don't write my background in books. It has been pretty diverse, but pretty specific as it relates to what I'm doing right now. I was born here in Nashville, and the day I left the hospital, I lived on Tennessee State University's campus. My parents both worked at Tennessee State University, my father being at that time assistant head coach, then becoming head coach, and ultimately becoming athletic director, and my mother being a teacher and a director of the majorettes at TSU. So I've been at Tennessee State, both physically and really I've been there all my life. And it appears that I'm still there. I did get my undergraduate degree at Tennessee State University, and a lot of people don't know I majored in health and physical education. And it has not been a background that has been relative to a lot of the jobs that I've had until now, being interim director of athletics at Tennessee State. Upon leaving college, and I would like to say for my Nashville friends that I went to Murphy School, Heads Elementary, Washington Junior High, and Pearl High. So those people in Nashville will remember those schools. So I got my education here in Nashville totally. I spent a couple years at Florida A&M. People call that the mistake I made, but I came back home after I got smart and finished at Tennessee State University. Upon leaving college, I went into banking. And I went through the management training program at First American, where I was there for 5 years. And then I moved to Citizens Bank with Richard Lewis, and we had a good stint there where I was a loan officer, then Director of Development and Personnel, and that's where my development background started. And from there, I've moved to this point, and of course I could go through all the jobs, and I won't do that, but I've always had a relationship with Tennessee State University. I served on the Foundation Board of Trust, and I served on that board as the treasurer. And so, having been that, I was asked to come to Tennessee State and run the foundation by the previous administration at Tennessee State. And I'm going into, well, I'm finishing my 4th year at the university as Director of Development and also Executive Director of the TSU Foundation. And 2 months ago, I was asked to hold the position as Interim Director of Athletics, and ironically, it has happened, and I think the things that I have been trained to do all these years are now coming back, and I'm in a position that I feel very comfortable with.
Very good, and that's good to hear. Let's talk about those various areas. First, the public relations area, and then we'll talk about the athletic program at Tennessee State University. But Ms. PQualls-Brooks, let's look at your responsibilities at Tennessee State University as the Director of Public Relations and some of the things that you believe our viewers might be interested in knowing this morning about Tennessee State University.
Well, as Director of Public Relations, my responsibility is simply to follow through on the programs and activities at the university. And by following through, we mean to promote them, to make the public aware of the programs that we offer, of the activities that are occurring on campus, to make the community and the local media aware of our faculty so that they may serve as experts or resource guides for them in various areas. And then furthermore, to let the community as a whole know the many things that we are doing so that young people as well as older people will be interested in the university. One of the major concerns of our president, Dr. Hefner, is image building, recruitment, and fundraising, and that's where we all fall into that category. And in image building, that is an awareness and an information, what we are doing, why we are doing it, and how it impacts positively upon the community, and by that I mean the world community at large. And through recruiting, we are gearing our sales and our stories to the traditional student, which means those high school graduates, and the non-traditional student. Those are individuals who may be working, or housewives who may have stopped school to rear family and to help their husband, and now are ready to start a career. And then in fundraising, well, Mr. Gentry can talk more specifically about that. But those are 3 of the president's main concerns in what we do. And if we are having a specific event, we promote it. We come on programs like yours and talk about it. But then in a general way, we tell what has happened, what is going on, and try to pique the interest of viewers and of listeners and of the community so that they will want to know more about what is happening at the university.
Very good. And Mr. Gentry, let's talk about the area of fundraising and development at Tennessee State University, because certainly we know that institutions are always concerned about trying to create a situation of bringing more financial assistance into the university. Let's talk about that area and what Tennessee State University is doing in fundraising and development.
Well, in today's time,